Welcome to Brain Bites. I'm Dorothy Smith. In this session, whole brain communication. What is your own communication style, and how does it differ from the people you work with? We'll take a look at the different ways people communicate to provide you with the knowledge you need to create an efficient, high-performing team environment. Most of us have a dominant hand or foot, but you may not realize that you have a dominant thinking style as well. And that affects your perception of the world and the messages you send to others. Let's look at 4 examples. Imagine that you're listening to a news report from the scene of a terrible accident. What that reporter chooses to focus on can help you understand what happened, or make it more confusing.
At 3:30 p.m. on Thursday, October 9th, a school bus and a Ford station wagon collided at the hairpin turn on Johnston School Pike Road.
This reporter is very detailed, describing the time of the accident and all of the people and vehicles that were involved. But you want a bigger picture. Was there a safety failure? An issue that could hurt other drivers in future?
This gives new urgency to enforcing the 20-mile-per-hour speed limit on Johnston School Pike Road and the need to have local police monitor speed during school hours.
Your friend isn't satisfied with the reporter's story either. He wants to know about the onlooker's state of mind after witnessing such a horrible scene.
2 teenage girls were in tears as they surveyed the wreckage outside their high school. Grief counselors are being sent to the scene.
While you know your boss would only be interested in what caused it.
The driver of the car was allegedly texting while driving. Many feel that this tragedy highlights the need for laws against texting while driving to keep future accidents from happening.
That's 4 entirely different stories and points of view. Which report is most favorable to you? Based on 4 different ways of looking at the world. To get the information each of us needs, first we have to understand how that information was processed. There are characteristic thought patterns that shape our personal communication. The patterns can be categorized into 4 brain dominance characteristics, which you'll hear about throughout this series. They are the rational self, where reason rules the day; the safekeeping self, which emphasizes organization and planning; the feeling self, a center guided by emotion and relationships; and the experimental self, which prizes originality and creativity. Everyone filters the world through these dominant traits, just like a die-hard optimist filters things through rose-colored glasses. Each member of a work team could interpret the same message in different ways: rationally, safely, emotionally, experimentally. To a left-brain rational thinker, the directive, "go buy glasses," would mean, because you need them. To a right-brain, more feeling-dominant worker, it could mean, because you lack the ability to see what I need. It's a simplistic example, but it shows how recognizing these filters can help a listener to understand exactly what the speaker meant. First, think of yourself as a triage nurse. Use a mental checklist to diagnose your teammates' personal communication styles. What clues do they give you when processing information? Are they A, rational, matter of fact, use facts to illustrate points, display little emotion? B, safekeeping, ask questions that have answers like who, what, when, and where, speaks in sentences and paragraphs, makes very concrete points, or more on the right side like C, feeling, use animated expressions and body language, use stories to illustrate points, talk out loud to learn, or D, experimental, speaks in phrases, stops mid-sentence to think, uses abstract metaphors, asks questions that lead to more questions like why and how. Then do a little triage on your own dominant brain characteristics. Within the whole brain, which quadrant do you live in? Do you analyze the facts? Organize them? Feel them? Or visualize them? Understanding your own preferences will help you to focus your intentions, while understanding how your teammates process information will help you to communicate more clearly. So ask yourself, right now, what hinders clear, concise communications in your department? And how will an understanding of whole brain communication improve your team's relationships? Based on what you will learn, analyze your team's different styles and come up with 3 actions for change.